Welcome back to our series with Northern Birch Credit Union. On October 22nd, myself, Esther, and Rita Ray from Estonia will be gracing the Northern Birch stage for Estonian Music Week in Toronto. We'll be at the Paradise on Floor. Come join us either online or in person. Today we are welcoming Elva Tamamägi from Rhizome Farms. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here with us. I'm going to ask you a couple of really relaxed questions. I'll ask you the tough ones, and then we'll end with a rapid fire series of just respond with whatever comes to mind. Nothing fancy. Okay. What is your favorite word in Estonian? This is a tough one.
Probably appelsin, because it means orange, which is super fun.
That is hilarious.
I think so. I hope that's right. Anyways.
Baltic culture is very musical. Was music a part of your childhood and your family?
Growing up, singing was really important. My mom loved choir music, so we were definitely did a lot of that. I grew up playing the piano, so I had some instruments in my life, which was nice.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And is music still a part of your life in adulthood?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Music gets me through the day, so definitely still a part of my life. Yeah.
What are you listening to these days?
I really like shuffle music and violin music. So you got two different opposites going on.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Tell us about Rhizome Farms.
Sure. So it's a small farm located in St. Catharines, Ontario, and I do small-scale farming. So I have a CSA program, which is a vegetable box, weekly vegetable box that I distribute to about 30 to 40 members in the community each week. And then I do some retail stores, small retail, and I do some online stuff as well. So individual boxes and stuff like that.
Super cool. And do you have a team around you, or is this mostly your labor?
So it's mostly mine. I did have one employee last year, and then this year I have 3 employees. So that's really nice to distribute the labor a lot, which is great. Yeah, but mostly I do most of the planning and organization and everything. So.
Now, you were born in Toronto.
Yes, correct.
How did you end up with a farm?
Yeah, so it's actually a family property.
Cool.
So my grandfather purchased the property when they moved to Canada in the 50s. So it's been in the family since then, and my dad's been running it for a while, and the land just became, the trees were ripped out of the orchard, and the land was just being rented. And then after that, it was just sort of hanging out for a while. I had the opportunity to move in about 2011, and so I was just like, I guess I'm going to try to start a farm. And that's what I did. So,
what inspired that? It's a pretty big change. What inspired that decision?
Yeah, I've always found gardening to be really healing process. So I really like going through, seeing different life cycles happening all in one season. And yeah, I've never really been that good at it though, which is kind of funny. But I went traveling. And woofing, which is like volunteering on farms, is a really super cheap way of traveling. So I did that throughout BC and throughout Nova Scotia and that region. And then I sort of, after that, had the opportunity to move to St. Catharines and start farming. So I started out really small. It was like a small garden, and then I just sort of expanded from there.
So talk to us about what expanded means. Like how many crops or how many acres? What are you dealing with?
Yeah, so I started out really small. I was doing like pretty much a 2-month weekly box program with maybe like 8 to 10 people or something like that. And then I would just get their feedback. I would do like surveys at the end, and I'd be like, what did you like? What didn't you like? And then I kept growing the amounts of people I was serving to. And then I would be starting with like a small plot and then moving to a larger one, and I built a couple greenhouses. So there's a greenhouse and a half right now. And yeah, so just moving up in the infrastructure as well as the land itself. So
very cool. What's been a challenge of this? It's like a 10-year journey now, from moving in 2011 to now, growing the farm, growing your business. What's been one of those challenge that was difficult, but then also has led to growth or led to change in how you're approaching this?
So some of the big challenges have been like not having the proper tools or not having access to the proper things. So for example, during the pandemic, it was very hard to get specific items for farming, and that made it more difficult to grow specific crops that were, because everything's without pesticides, so it's hard to grow, you know, things without insects coming in if you're not covering things, and the cover was unavailable due to very high demand during the pandemic. And so that was sort of just kind of finding different ways to, you know, cover things. So being really adaptable, problem solving. And then another large challenge is the saturation of farming products in the market right now because of the pandemic. Everyone's doing it themselves. So just finding other venues to sort of make profit from the business. And so looking more into ecotourism or value-added products and stuff like that.
Very cool. Had you intended as when you were younger to be kind of a small business owner, or was this a surprise?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it was sort of a surprise, I guess. I've always, though, been very like independent and wanting to, you know, set my own schedule and set my own rules and that sort of stuff. But I guess I never really planned on being a business owner. But yeah, here we are.
Here you are. 10 years in. That's amazing. What's the first thing you do? Like when there was the problem with the supply of the covers, what do you do? Like what's the first thing you do when you have a problem to solve?
Swear.
Yeah, I freak out. So yeah, swearing makes sense.
Yeah, I guess trying to source it from other places, trying to source different materials from other places, just trying to figure it out, seeing if other farmers have what I need. That's actually definitely having a community of people who are in farming as well is very important, so that I can be like, hey, I don't have this. Do you have any extra? You know, I tried that. That actually didn't work when I needed the row cover specifically, but it has worked in other areas. For example, like chickens, if you know, chicken sharing and stuff like that has worked. So,
because there was a shortage, right, of chicks.
Yeah,
because everyone got them in the pandemic.
yeah, for sure. Or like, you know, one of my farmer friends had like his flock taken out by coyotes, and so you know, I was able to search on Kijiji and grab them some. So
cool.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Do you feel like there's a good community around you in St. Catharines of farmers?
Yeah, there's a lot of new farmers, so there's a lot of people looking for advice and stuff like that, and I'm more than willing to help out new farmers as well as get advice from older farmers or more established farmers as well, since I'm still a newbie. So yeah.
Very cool. And so you said that your farm is pesticide free. So are you technically organic, or what does that mean for kind of classifying what you're producing?
Yeah, technically not organic because you need certification for that.
Right.
And I haven't gone through the certification process. I'm not sure if it's something that I would look to do in the future. I think it's like a few-year process. So you can say organically grown, you know, naturally grown. I think you can still use the term organic, but it's, you know, you need to see that certification logo in order for it to have been inspected by a third party.
Of course. And before the pandemic, there was such a did you see a high demand for like locally grown and all of that? Was that something that was helping your business a lot with people's kind of desire for local food?
During the pandemic, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh yes, for sure. I found that in 2020, like it was like very, very popular. Everyone was local, everyone was organic. It was very in high demand, and still is. So
Great.
Yeah,
awesome. Can you tell us about an experience maybe early on that seemed like a failure at the time but forced you to pivot how you were approaching your farm or your business?
Sure. I would say that something would be growing foods that are very common, which is something good to do when you're first starting out. You know, you have all your originals like radish and lettuce and carrots and that sort of thing. But I found that, again, with the saturation of the market, a lot of people are doing that. So that really forces you to be like, what do I want to grow? And also, what do I want to grow that I want to eat, just in case it doesn't sell, you know, or what can I do with this? So going into more fun and unique varieties and playing around with those, it's more fun for me, and it's also more fun for customers to try new things. So
what do you love to eat from what you make? What you grow?
I'm super boring, and I like chard, rainbow chard. It's my favorite thing in the world because it's the most beautiful, one of the most beautiful plants.
What do you do with your chard?
You just fry it in a pan with oil and garlic. So good.
That sounds really good.
Yeah.
Amazing. So talk to us a little bit, like as a farmer, what's your morning routine?
Yeah, my morning routine is to wake up, immediately have caffeine, put on some shuffle music, and actually, no, before shuffle music, it's journaling. So I'll do like a journal of like, digesting my previous day, digesting my dreams, and writing out a list of what I have to do in the morning so that I can really focus and make sure that I remember everything that I have to get done for the day. And then I usually go take care of chickens, so that's super fun.
Amazing. What book or experience or gift have you given away the most to friends or family?
Okay, I guess that would be the brunch experience. That's one of my favorite things to do is to make brunch out of all the farmed goods that I have, and then doing that for other people. So that's my favorite thing and a gift to them. And I really enjoy doing it, and I enjoy when they enjoy it. So yeah.
Amazing, thank you. What purchase of $100 or less in the last 6 months to a year has most positively affected your life?
Headphones. You said $100 or less, right? Okay, yeah. So headphones, because they make a world of difference, whether you're like trying to screen out screaming chickens at you, or if you're trying to like, listen to shuffle music and like pound a coffee so you can keep going throughout the day. Yeah, that would be, $40 headphones, the best purchase for sure. Amazing.
What's one of the most worthwhile investments you ever made? And that could be time, money, or energy.
I would say the best investment would be to include self-care routines into my day-to-day life and go on a vacation. So investing in myself, I find, is the best way to care for myself, care for others. So,
what's the best vacation you've been on?
Mexico for a wedding. Yeah, it was gorgeous.
I'd love to go to Mexico. What advice would you give to another young entrepreneur or farmer who's just starting out? And what advice should they ignore?
Okay, so the advice I would give them is that they should really find a community of farmers to support them and that they can get advice from, that they can be like, I'm having a hard time with this, can you help me? Or, what do you suggest for X, Y, Z? Just so that they feel supported in their journey. And then the advice that they should ignore is that there's not one right way to do things. And so, there's many ways we can solve a problem. And I find that with many professions, but farming particularly, it's like you have to do things exactly in this order with these exact products, and the end result has to look like this. Whereas I think that there's many different ways you can do that. So you should your own unique experience will help your business rather than make it just like one, what is that, cookie cutter type vegetable product, so.
How many years do you feel like it took you to get to, because you were describing earlier that, you learned to grow the things that you wanted to grow and that were interesting to you and that are then also interesting to buyers. How many years do you think it took you to go from that kind of early stage of your early farming to really growing into what you wanted to be growing?
Yeah, probably like 6 years because I started out very part-time. And so when I first started, it was almost more of a hobby. It wasn't really, I'd say, a business, definitely not established yet or anything.
Yeah.
And then I went through an off-farm job. I stopped farming for a year. And then when I came back, I was really like, okay, I need this to be about, my business and what I'm gonna do and not just sort of like having what, other people on Instagram are doing dictate like what I'm gonna do with my business, so.
Makes sense, makes total sense. What's the best piece of advice you were given when you were starting out?
Probably never stop learning. Definitely just keep up with the technologies and varieties and what people are into. Just keep going. Yeah.
Amazing, thank you. So we're heading into our lightning round now.
Oh boy.
So
okay.
This is just going to be like just quick questions, and you can respond as you choose. Short, if you want to elaborate, you can, but don't feel like you have to. What is your favorite food?
Sushi. Brunch. No, wait, what am I talking about?
Swiss chard. No, sushi was a great answer. Sushi's so good. What is your favorite song right now?
Always Will Be, Holocene by Bon Iver.
Oh, yeah, cool. What book are you reading right now?
I am reading Women Who Run with the Wolves, which is a really good book.
I've heard good things about that book.
Very good.
Where were you born?
I was born in Toronto.
What's your most important self-care practice?
Journaling.
Yeah, me too. What's on your post-COVID bucket list?
Going to a party and traveling.
Yeah. Why do you bank with Northern Birch?
They're the best bank in the world. Yeah, no, they actually really, really care for their clients, and they do a lot of things that give back to their clients. Yeah, they have amazing rates. Their staff are amazing to deal with. It's very good, yeah.
Amazing. And what's one piece of financial advice that you would give to our listeners, our viewers?
That's a good question. Don't make impulse buys.
That's amazing. I feel like that just spoke directly to me. Thank you so much, Annabelle, for your time today. This is wonderful. You did a great job.
Great, thanks.